Good morning, students. This is class 8 civics lesson chapter 3. Why do we need parliament? This is the last topic that we have to discuss today, right? Already we have discussed all the things of this chapter. How many houses are there in the parliament? How can they represent our states? And how it is divided? How can consequences make, and what are the functions of the parliament, right? This is the last topic today. Who are the people in the parliament? That we know that those people are in the parliament, they actually represent us, means all the country. We know they are coming from the different corners of the country and they belong to any region, any group of the people. Okay, means parliament now has more and more people from different backgrounds. For example, there are more ruler members as also members from many regional parties. You can see that though in the central there is a party of any other, but it may happen from the rural backgrounds or from the other regions, some different parties will be. Groups and people, they were till now unrepresented, are being to get elected to parliament. There has also been an increase in political participation from the Dalits and background classes. Means in our country, we can say it is a democratic country. So here we want to bring equality. For that, they are getting the reservation in each and every area, means government jobs, education, because we want to bring everyone upgrade, means equal, right? So in that way we can say Dalits and backward classes like SC, ST, tribes, each background people going in the parliament, right? Let us look the following tables and shows percentage of the population, right? You can read that. It was being observed that representative democracy cannot produce perfect reflection of society. There is a relation that when interests and experiences separate us, it is important to ensure that communities that have been historically marginalized. Marginalized means those who are out of the societies. They are not in the majority, so they are out of the society and they are not included in our representative classes, right? So in that way we can say SC and ST, this have been also in the MPs elected from these consequences will be familiar with and can represent Dalit and the Adivasi interested in parliament, right? So in that way we can say we want that every person can represent their region, their groups. So in that way those who are before that marginalized, they are out of the region, out of the society, they are not included in our society, they are also come together and reserve seats they have in the parliament, right? Now I am showing you In this picture you can see, look, we have total seats 543, right, in the Lok Sabha. Here you can see the pink color. Whatever consequences are with the pink color, that are for the general. Total 412, 412, right? Now the green color. Whatever consequences are with the green color, that are reserved for ST. Okay? Scheduled tribes. Total seats 47. This is the data of year 2004. It can change after years, right? Means whenever elections will happen, it can change. Now the blue color is represent the SC, scheduled caste, that is 84 seats. So in that way you can understand that every region can participate in the parliament. Now the last thing of this chapter, similarly it has more recently been suggested that there should be reservation of seats of women. This issue it is still being debated. Means till now women are also fight for their right. 60 years ago only 4% of MPs were women, and today it is just above 11%. Means 16 years ago it is only 4% MPs were women, but nowadays it is 11%. This is a small share when you consider the fact that half the population are women. Means still women are fight for their right, means half of the population of the women, and still they are not getting their right. Means they won't increase the number of the seats, right? It is the issue of the kind that force the country to ask certain difficult and often unresolved question. Means our government is still working on this question, whether our democracy system is representative enough. The fact that we can ask these questions and are working towards answers is a reflection of the strength and the faith that people in India have in a democracy form of government. Means in democracy we have the transparency of the work. So still debates are continuously happening in the parliament for women's. So in this way you can say the chapter is about to finish. I hope you people understand all the works of the parliament. In the next chapter we will learn about the do law apply to all, or understanding laws, right? Thank you and have a nice day.